Feminism has made it sort of like insulting to think there actually is such a thing as a good wife, but of course there is. Wife is a job, it's a position. I think it's an elevated, very high, an honorable position. And but it, just like any position, it entails rights and responsibilities. Of course, it all begins with you. I mean, it begins with what you want and what you're looking for, who you hit it off with, that kind of magical thing that nobody can actually tell you anything about when you find yourself with somebody and you just want to be with them and you're laughing all the time. And it's everything is interesting, as a girl once said to me, when you fall in love, everything is interesting, that you're talking about. And I think that, that is all obviously stuff about you, and also what kind of life do you want to live? I mean, this is something that people should talk about before they get married. It really is. Is it a family life? Is it a life with kids in it? Or do you want to, be a shallow, empty, people with a dog and a nice car who take big vacations but have nothing in your life of value? Totally up to you. Don't let me influence your ideas. But if you want children, if you want those children to have a mom, that's a life that you're going to have to, that you want your wife to want, not to force upon her. And it's a life you're going to have to think about and how you're going to get it and what sacrifices you're going to make. You're going to have to make sacrifices no matter what life you choose. And so you're going to want to have a woman who shares those values. She doesn't have to agree with you about everything, but she has to share those values. But I think in more general, I'm a guy who I like feminine women, right? I love, one of the things I love about my wife is she passes through a room and magically suddenly there are flowers all over the place and everything looks better. I pass through a room and everything's broken. I'm like living entropy, So she restores everything she goes through. She's a very feminine person. And because I don't bring a lot of that energy to the table, that makes us a really good match. And we've had a really great time together. If that's not what you're looking for, you should know. And you should know you can examine your daydreams and examine the honesty of your daydreams. When you daydream about a woman, what is she like? Is that true? Would you like, you might daydream, I'd really like just a woman who's just dumb, and then you think, well, no, actually that would be boring over time. You can question your daydreams, question your desires. But still, I think the one thing that is really important, more than any, is a wife should be devoted to the project that you have in mind. And that if you conceive of that project as a joint project or a project that you are mostly going to do, I think you want a wife who is devoted to it. You don't want a wife who says, okay, if you want kids, we'll have kids, right? You don't want that. You want somebody who knows how to talk and to laugh instead of fighting. You want to avoid drama, which is a more feminine flaw than it is a male flaw, but it is no good for relationships. You don't want drama in your relationships. You want communication and talking and affection and sympathy. But listen, it's hard for me to say because everybody likes something different, but I like women who are women. I like women who are sympathetic, tender, kind, who love beauty, who bring beauty to the table, who bring kindness to the table. And I want that devotion that I think that women are capable of that men aren't. So you have to decide for yourself, but you have to examine yourself first and know what kind of life you want.